every single time I get on a vlog, I realize how crazy I am. You don't settle for friendships that are one-sided. My God is not about to leave me out here. No, I'm not settling for anything less than I deserve. Why would I? Come on, Chelsea. It's okay. Not understanding God's plan, but trusting God enough to go with the plan. In a season where I'm just really confused why God wrote that chapter the way that he did. Like, why? Anger gives foothold to the devil, and the devil wants foothold because he can just start climbing his way up to what he really wants, which is your heart, which is your mind, which is your faith. I guess I got a word for y'all today. Maybe God needed to move you. Maybe God needed to force you to pivot. Go, pack your stuff up and go. Got a blast. You can't choose everything that you take with you along the way. Sometimes you have to be willing to let things go. Oh my gosh, am I gonna lose everything in this world because I'm so invested in my faith journey? Hey friends, good morning. It is Monday morning. Never miss a Monday. It's very cold. It's like what, 30 degrees. My fingers are cold, but for some reason my heat is not coming out hot. And it's very frustrating because last year during this time it did the same thing, and I ended up having to put it in the shop, and oh my gosh, it was a big ordeal. It cost me like $600 something, like $650 I think was the total at the end. It was nonsense. But yeah, so my heat is not warming up very fast. I had to like get onto the highway for it to like get hot, and so my defrost obviously is not working. It's just pumping out cold air, and so I was riding dirty for like the first few minutes. I was just hoping that there was no cars in front of me. Yo, I also really need air in my tire again because I really need a new tire. But that's fine. I just made it. See? You can't miss a Monday. Never miss a Monday. Hey, I said I never miss a Monday. Hey, get it. I really be acting like this all the time, and my son just be looking at me like, I'm cold. If y'all don't keep throw blankets in the car, am I the only one? Is that weird? Oh, maybe it's because my heat don't be working, Chelsea. It's probably not weird for real. They probably just don't need that because they have heat in their vehicle. Let me stop playing. I do have heat. It just takes a while to kick in. But me and my son love throw blankets anyways. We each got one in here. And every time he gets in the car, he'll put his little blanket on, even when it's not cold. It's just cozy. Like, and he'll be like, you got your blanket, mommy? And I'm like, I got my blanket, baby. Maybe we are cold. This is the thing. Like, I don't really know what's really just me now and what I've just really gotten used to. Like, because I really do be cold all the time, and I just figured that that's who I am. But really, it's because my heat doesn't kick on fast. It doesn't kick on until I really like get on the highway and start pushing the gas. But to get to the gym, I only go like 30 the whole time. The speed limit's what, 30, 35? It doesn't take me long to get here, so the car is still cold by the time I get here, and I just don't care. I'm just like, okay, cool. What's the solution? A little throw blanket and I'm fine. That's crazy. That just hit me. That just hit me. How we just be finding solutions for everything. Like, no. I'm not having no excuses stop me. Like, you don't miss a Monday. If my tire's a little flat, okay, cool. Is there enough in there to get to the gym? And then I'll go pump some air in it after. Like, if there's enough air, then what are you staying home for? What are you talking about? If it's cold, okay, get a blanket. If your heat isn't working, cool. If your defrost isn't working, get out and scrape it real quick, and then kind of squint a little bit and make sure there's no cars on the side so that you don't hit them, but you can still go. I am crazy. It's like every single time I get on a vlog, I realize how crazy I am. You are crazy. In like the best way possible. But no, I still have not gotten a new pre-workout, so I just keep grabbing the little Alani's, the energy drinks, instead of their pre-workout that I use. This one's really good. It's mimosa. But no, I feel really good this morning. My spirit's really high. We had the wildest weekend ever. Like, there were so many God moments this weekend. It was scary. I, I can't even explain it. It's like I wouldn't even know where to start. Me and Mackenzie had a crazy breakthrough. Like, we got so much confirmation on what we're doing together as like a friendship. Nika, I'm not even going to speak on that because that is insane. Not me really about to cry. Like, that's insane. I can't even speak on that one. Breakthrough definitely happened with Nika and our whole little circle, our whole little world. There's so much happening. There's so much going on at this point. It's definitely like an awkward season. I just actually posted a vlog on YouTube about how like I'm in this season of confusion, you know, where I'm so happy, but I'm low-key confused at the same time. Like, in a season where I'm watching everybody else step into their blessings, you know, like all the things that we've worked hard to get and receive, I'm watching everybody else receive them. And I feel like it's been such a beautiful test for real. Like, how are you going to handle this, Chelsea, when it looks like they're getting it first, or it looks like their hard work is paying off and yours isn't? How are you going to handle that? How's your heart posture going to be? And I just been over here passing with flying colors, baby, because I've been hyped. I'm like, there's not a jealous bone in my body, because when you know that you're in alignment, when you know that you're in aligned friendships, you're not in competition. There is no competition. I'm not competing against you. We are on the same team, baby. When you make a basket, I get a point. When I make a free throw, you get a point too. Like, we're on the same team, and I'm telling you, friendships like that hit different. They hit so different when I'm constantly pouring into them to try to get them to win too, because I want them to win just as bad as I want to win myself, and vice versa. Like, it hits different. Don't settle for friendships that are one-sided. Don't settle for friendships where it's low-key secret competition. Like, they low-key hate you. They low-key hate you. They low-key cannot stand you. Also, the friendships where they want to see you win, they just don't want to see you beat them. That's crazy. That is crazy. I have such aligned friendships nowadays. I literally love them so much. It's like, I am not competing against you. I'm not jealous when you get it, because I'm gonna get it too, because I'm riding on faith just like you, because that must mean God's in the neighborhood. And what? The whole team's winning. Are you crazy? I don't know where y'all's faith is, but my God is not about to leave me out here. My God is not about to be sitting here like, Chelsea, you're the only one left, and I'm gonna leave you hanging. You're crazy. You're crazy. If my team's winning, I'm winning too, and you cannot convince me otherwise. And so when everybody on my team keeps getting their blessings, I'm over here like, come on, like, you got it, you did it, you deserve it, we did it. Like, we're in this thing together, baby. What are you talking about? But that's been such a beautiful test for me, because I've had a lot of friends that were in secret competition, and we were in secret competition with each other. I definitely have a lot of friend hurt. I have a lot of friendships that I thought were genuine friendships, but they were low-key competing against me, or they were low-key wanting me to dim my light so that I don't outshine them. And so they were low-key throwing little jabs all the time, like, you're not that pretty, Chelsea, or you're not, you should do something with yourself, Chelsea, or you should, like, they were just making little comments. And it's like, why would you ever say that? Like, why would you ever speak like that to another person? That's just crazy to me. But I used to settle for that because I just wanted people around. I didn't really care that they weren't a great friend, because I just wanted people in my space, because I was really scared to be by myself. I'm not scared to be by myself anymore. I am not scared to sit alone, baby. I will sit alone all day, all night. Like, I love solitude nowadays because I love me. I am my comfort zone. I am my safe space. What am I scared to be by myself for? So yeah, now that I'm not scared to be alone, and I'm not scared to be by myself, and I actually love it, then everybody else is just a bonus. Everybody else is just extra. Everybody else is just a blessing, not a necessity. So no, I'm not settling for anything less than I deserve. Why would I? That sounds crazy. Anyway, I'm going to work out. I'm going to chill in the car, put on some songs, get myself ready for the gym. It's Monday, so it's lower body day. It's leg day. I love leg day. I love Mondays. Never miss a Monday. Oh, that's what I was saying. Mondays used to be my least favorite day ever because I just hated it. I hated the thought of a whole new week that I have to make it through. But nowadays, I'm like, I love Mondays. Mondays are new opportunities to go be great. That is like the most beautiful thing to me. Like, I know what last week looked like, but this week, baby, we starting over. It's a constant refresh. It's a constant opportunity to refresh yourself. Refresh me, Scotty. I'm gonna leave that in there too. Anyway, go be great. I'm about to go be great. Bye, friends. No, see, I don't even know where I want to park. I'm so frustrated today. I never even park over here. I don't know why I just parked over here. Whatever. Hey, friends. I'm so frustrated this morning, y'all. There was so much that happened last night, and I'm really struggling with like processing all of it. Like, I'm really having a hard time. It's like I'm not even about to talk about it because what? But I am like eating myself up about something, and it's so ridiculous, and it's so like, I don't even know how to explain it. But moral of the story is, I'm really frustrated this morning. I'm low-key really upset, and I'm trying not to be, because I don't want to make it a bigger deal than what it has to be. You know, it was a simple mistake, but I feel really bad, and it kind of threw me off this morning. It kind of threw me off this morning. And so I'm moving like a little slow, and I don't even want to talk about it, but I'm so upset. And I'm trying not to be so upset. Like, I'm trying not to make it a much bigger deal than it has to be, but I'm such an empath. Obviously, I don't like making mistakes anyway, but when other people are included in my mistakes, I just feel freaking awful. Like, I feel so bad. It's like, I know I had to let it go, and I know it's not that big of a deal. Like, imagine like the freaking world is ending or something, but it hurts, man. I feel so bad, and it hurts so bad. Like, I don't like hurting people or like embarrassing people. And I did not mean to do that, and I feel freaking bad. This is crazy. Like, it's almost 6 o'clock in the morning the next morning. Like, come on, Chelsea. It's okay. I'm like frustrated that I even feel so bad because, you know, obviously I'm not explaining the situation, and I'm not going to, but I'm even making it sound so much worse than what it actually was. It's the principle. Everything for me is the principle. It's the fact of the matter, you know. Like, the fact that I made a simple mistake that affected another person. I don't like that. I don't like that. It bothers me so bad. I never want to make anybody upset or make anybody feel uncomfortable or embarrassed or anything. Like, but it's cool. I'm running a little late. It's like 5:42, and I'm just not getting to the gym. So, and I woke up on time. I did click a snooze on my alarm, but I don't think I even fell back asleep. I was just really like talking to God. I did make it a point to not get on my phone, which I really try to do most mornings, but with my private community, sometimes I click and open like the group chat and stuff. But one thing that I've really had to do is learn my social battery, like learn what my capacity is, and when I need to kind of step away and just be by myself, just me and God. And although I do that every day, what I mean is, I know when I get overwhelmed, and I realize that before I actually get overwhelmed. It's like, I know myself well enough to know, okay, I'm like reaching that limit. I'm like reaching that capacity. I need to step away and fill my cup back up before I talk to anybody again, or before I get back in the group chat, or before, before I start texting all my friends back or whatever. Like, sometimes I just need to step away before I get overwhelmed like that. And that has come with really getting to know myself and knowing my emotions and my limits and my capacity, and knowing how to handle myself in those moments. So it's been really helpful to get to know myself in that way, so that I don't actually reach that completely overwhelmed limit to where I'm like drowning. And that's what I used to do a lot. I didn't know myself at all, and so I would just always, my social battery would be dead, like shot, and I would still be go because I wouldn't even realize it. And it's not like that anymore. I will straight tell my friends, like, hey, my battery is low, like I gotta talk to you tomorrow. I can't even do it. And a lot of that, my calling comes with a lot. It's a lot of mental health stuff. It's a lot of therapeutic conversations. It's so beautiful, and I love every second of it, but it is a lot. They're heavy conversations. It's a lot to process. It's a lot to take in. Obviously nothing that I've never heard before, or nothing that I have yet to have any conversations that I haven't talked to God about yet, which is how I know that I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. But it's a lot. It's heavy. It comes with a lot of work. It comes with a lot of therapeutic conversations within myself and with God. It takes a lot behind closed doors. It takes me making sure my mental health is straight in order to show up for everybody else the way that I do in my career. It's a lot, but it's a blessing at the same time. I'm very thankful for what I do. I'm very thankful for what I've been blessed to do. I'm thankful to be a vessel the way that I am. And that's it. I'm just reminding myself of that this morning, even though the job definitely gets heavy and there's a lot involved in it. And that's it. I'm gonna go get my workout in. It's Tuesday, so it's upper body day. I've been working on my little chubby underarms. Not underarms, but with the little bat wings. I think they call it bat wings. Like, I got chunky arms. And so I've been working on those. So I've got like a few different workouts that I'm gonna do with just some free weights. We're gonna go have a great day. I'm gonna put my worship music on in my headphones and just chill with God for a minute. I still haven't looked through my phone or like responded to text messages or anything. It's too much for me this morning. So yeah, I'm gonna go get my mind right. I'm gonna go fill my cup up. Bye, friends. Hey, friends. It is still Tuesday. I am in the pickup line to grab my son from school. I feel much better than I did this morning. This morning I went to hit upper body, but I actually just walked. Like, I just did some cardio on the treadmill, put like some worship music in my headphones, and I just... Some days I need that. Like, some days I'm in that gym and I'm going hard. Like, it's the best workout ever. I feel amazing after. I'm sweating. I'm going, And then other days I'm there for mental gains. And I'm like, I just need to be here. And so I did that this morning. And I feel a lot better. I've always been like that, to be honest. I'm very much an empath, meaning I care so much about how people feel, how I make other people feel specifically. Like, I don't like feeling like I made somebody uncomfortable or upset or just brought any type of negative vibes to anybody. I'm just not that type of person. I don't like that. It bothers me so much because the world is hard enough already. Like, the world is hard enough as it is. I don't like feeling like I negatively impacted anybody. So that's what that was. I definitely feel a lot better now that I brought it to God and I just laid it down. I'm like, this is a lot, God. I'm just going to hand this over to you. Just go ahead and take this. I will also admit that I'm in a difficult season. And I guess we're always really in difficult seasons because every season is new, right? Especially when you're on a faith journey, it's constant progress. When you're rocking with God like that, like it's always one step forward and one step forward and one step forward. It's not one step forward, 10 steps back like it is when you're living for the world. It's constant progress. So you're constantly in new seasons, and it's difficult. It's difficult to always be changing and adapting and trying to get used to something and trying to get comfortable in different seasons and with all the changes and everything. And so right now I feel like I'm in a really difficult, confusing season where like all the people that have become such a huge part of my story in all of my last few chapters, they're just kind of gone now. Like I feel like I'm almost like isolated, like I'm in separation from all of those people for some reason. And it's not one person specifically, it's multiple people, which is the confusing part. It's like, what the heck is going on, and how do I handle this? Because I'm a mentor for a lot of women. That's my career, you know, and I love it. I literally love it. And so I have my people, you know, I have my village, my mentors that lift me up, that bring me peace, that speak life into me, that calm me down. And those people I feel like in this season are just like distant, or they're just gone, you know. So I just really feel like I've been just having myself. And that's not, I'm not saying that I don't have friends. That's not what I mean. I have lots of friends, of course, but my main people, I feel like God has them kind of distant from me in this season, and it's been really hard. It's been really hard. It's really hard to trust God so much that I know that whatever he's up to, I'm rocking with it, you know, like I'm down for it because I trust in God's plan, but also at the same time not understanding why, you know, like not understanding God's plan but trusting God enough to go with the plan. That's very frustrating. It can be very hard to remain faithful and not question, you know, like, why are you distancing these amazing people from me? Like all of these friendships that were building me up, all of these friendships that were so genuine and were so much building me up and helping me, you know, bringing me peace and bringing me comfort and growing me. Like I was growing so much in all of them. And I say was just because in this season, like I said, I feel like we're really separated. Obviously it's not permanent. I don't think that anything's permanent. I don't look at anything to be permanent, because this too shall pass always. Whether a good season, a bad season, a confusing season, this too shall pass, period. So I'm not really tripping that much, but it is difficult to be in a season where I'm just really confused why God wrote that chapter the way that he did. Like, why? What are we doing? This ain't adding up, God. The math is not mathing. I say all of that because I feel like I was really emotional this morning, because usually when something happened like that, where I made like a silly mistake, or something happened where I was just like really struggling with it, I would call one of them. And I don't have them to call right now. So that was where I feel like a lot of those emotions came from, just the feeling of, you know, being in this group and having this successful business and loving every single second of it. Like, they're amazing. I love my career so deeply, but helping everybody all the time. And then at the end of the night, feeling like I really need somebody to talk to, but I can't call my main people for whatever reason, and having to like deal with those emotions on my own. I feel like that was really hard for me. And I obviously prayed it out. I cried it out. I went to sleep, and then I woke up this morning and was like, now it's all hitting me at once. Like, I want my people. Where's my people back? Like, why are we doing this, God? I feel like in those seasons, it's really hard to not be mad at God, or frustrated even, to not question God's plan, to know that God is good, because God will never lead me to destruction. God will never lead me to pain. He will allow certain things to happen that will prepare me, and evolve me into the person he needs me to be, but he won't just lead me to destruction, which I just constantly need to remind myself of that. We all do. We need to remind ourselves of that. And I feel like that's what got me through. And like I said, I'm not saying that I don't have friends. I definitely do have friends. I called Mackenzie. I love my girl Mackenzie. What I mean is my village, my people, the people that know me so well. Like, if I would have called my person, I know that he would have just been like, I know your mind. Like, I know what you already thinking. Like, don't overthink this, Chelsea. Don't do the and you know what I mean? Like, the people that know you. A lot of the friends that I have now, they're new friends. They're friends that I'm just getting to know now, so it hits a little different, you know. So I just wanted to give that disclaimer, because I don't want y'all thinking like I'm complaining like I don't have no friends. No, I have a lot of friends, and I very much value all of my friendships. Anyway, it is Tuesday, so it's an off day for me and my little guy. He does boxing and MMA and all of these things, and so Tuesdays and Thursdays are our days to just like breathe for a second, because he doesn't have those things. And so yeah, we're gonna cook dinner, put some socks on, dance in the kitchen, cook dinner. By the way, I'm gonna insert that clip. I'm gonna insert a clip here, because I've always told you guys, like, I love dancing in the kitchen with my son. Like, that's just our thing. I don't know why. That's just our thing. And we've done that since he was like a little baby. And my sister just randomly found a clip of us. And I was like, that is so cute. Like, we really been, that's my guy. That's my baby. I just adore him. Anyways, I'm going to pick my baby up. I'm almost to the front of the line. So I will talk to you guys bright and early in the morning. Bye, friends.
Alex told me he never even saw his brother. He died when he was born. I'm like, but that's just too much for me. But at lunchtime too, I'm like, but stop saying all that stuff.
This is too much for second grade.
I know.
You're supposed to be learning and having fun and making friends, and y'all sitting here having all this drama like you're adults. Ooh, you got more drama than me. That's crazy. That can't be fun. Is that fun?
It's not fun. That's why I try to. It feels like I'm the bad guy, but I'm trying to help people.
Yeah,
like,
but you cannot save everybody, Tristan.
Why?
You cannot save everybody. Sometimes you just gotta pray for people and move about your business. If you try to save everybody, you're gonna end up hurt.
I didn't save everybody. I just saved Alex and Flint.
Listen. Ooh, it's cold. Ooh, it's cold. You okay, Chelsea? You good? It's freezing, child. I need a new steering wheel cover. Please, God. Do it for me. The steering wheel cover is crazy. It's all worn down. I love this thing. I've had this for a long time. Hey, friends. Happy Wednesday. It's hump day. Don't be humping nobody with your nasty self. You're nasty. I wish I could play the music on here, but YouTube gonna knock me. Mama said knock. YouTube gonna knock me. Copyright me all the time. Fun fact about your girl. I hate dry lips. I can't do it. So every single time I brush my teeth, which is actually quite often, I'm a little weird, but I have to put Vaseline on my lips. And then in the morning time when I get to the gym, it'd be all over my face. And so before I get out the car, I always have to remember to just like rub it in. Like, come on. That was it. Fun fact Wednesday. Anyways, what's up, y'all? That just reminded me of how I'd be talking to my niece. Y'all know I got a new niece. She's like a week and a half old. And I'll be getting her. She's so tiny, bro. She just be sitting here like this. I'm like, what's up, mamas? That's my girl. That's my girl. I'm going to be so sad when I move. Ugh. Don't even think about it. Come on now. Anyway, I started the morning off with a sermon, which is why my energy is so high, or my spirit's so high, because I started it with the Lord. Okay, hallelujah, amen. You gotta wake up and get your spirit together. Start with the Lord. Whether you put worship music on, or you pray, or you put a sermon on, do something, because what you waking up with? You waking up with the world? Ooh, that's scary. So my real people know what sermon I watch because it's always the same man. It's always the same pastor. Not that I don't like anybody else, but I love me some PMJ. I love me some PMJ. Just the way he speaks, the way he breaks it down into like a way that I can resonate with, I can understand it. It hits every single time. So his sermon this week is about strong faith. It's part 2 from last week. Last week was so good, bro. If you didn't watch it, get there immediately. He's talking about 5 different ways the enemy attacks your faith, right? And so he's breaking down the word faith. F stood for fear, which is fear. Yeah. Why I just glitch? F stands for fear, which he broke down last week in the sermon, which is the one I'm talking about. It was mad good. And then this week, A stands for anger. And so he was talking about how anger, and they talk about this in Ephesians, which I knew that. I knew he was going there with that. And so I was like, you're really growing spiritually, Chelsea. Because when he brought up anger, I knew he was going to the Ephesians verses. But in Ephesians, it talks about how when you go to sleep angry, you're giving the devil a foothold. And so, of course, I had to like look up the definition of foothold and all these things. And it's basically like a sturdy position, a sturdy place to walk. And so anyway, in this sermon, PMJ broke it down about how much anger is holding a lot of us back. And it was so good. He's like, when you go to sleep angry, it gives the devil a foothold, right? And he said, it's like rock climbing. He said, what do you do when you first start rock climbing? You grab the rope. You like get a tight grip of the rope. And he said, and then all you're doing after that is just looking for another place to step. Like, what's your next step? What's your next move? What rock can you go to next? And he said, that's what the enemy does when you go to bed angry. He said, he starts at the bottom because he's below our feet. That the whole church should have said amen on that. But anyway, he starts below our feet and you give him that foothold. And so he just starts climbing. And what he's trying to do is make his way to your heart. Because if he makes his way to your heart, then he can make his way to your mind. And if he gets into your mind, he gets into your whole world. Because your mindset and your mind runs your entire life. Bro, what? I was like, PMJ, that is so good. That is so good. Anger gives foothold to the devil, and the devil wants foothold because he can just start climbing his way up to what he really wants, which is your heart, which is your mind, which is your faith. And then he brought up blessings and stuff. He said a lot of us are so upset with God that we haven't received certain blessings. And he said, but what if God can't trust you with those blessings because you're so angry all the time? He said, what if God can't trust you because your spirit cannot handle pressure? The second that you feel any type of pressure, you get angry. And then what happens? You allow anger to give the enemy a foothold. And now the enemy got you. So God can't even trust you with the blessings because you're so angry that you fumble them every 2 seconds because your spirit is not strong enough to handle them under pressure. And how do you get your spirit strong enough to handle pressure? You go to God. So God's out there like, oh, well, you don't pray enough. You don't talk to me enough. You don't fast enough. You don't have a solid relationship with me. And in order for me to be your strength in those moments, in order for me to take away that anger in those moments, you don't cast it down. You don't have no authority. You don't even know that you have authority. So you don't cast any of that down. You don't speak against any of that. You just allow all of these spirits to take over. And that's why the enemy got you. That's crazy, bro. It was so good. Y'all gotta go watch that. You got to go watch that. It was so good. And if you guys know me, anger is not something that I feel that often. Like when I compare myself to the people that I'm around often, I don't really get angry like that. I'm a 0 to 20 type of person. He was talking about that too. He said he's a 0 to 100 type person. He's like, now if y'all perfect, y'all just sit there and be cute. But for me, I cannot stand those texts where they be like, thank you for your payment. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, baby. I didn't give you that. You took it. That is foul. They be really kidding people. Anyway, he was talking about how he's a 0 to 100 type person. Like he'll go from laughing and talking 1 minute to swinging the next. And then he brought up like 0 to 20 people. I'm very much a 0 to 20 person. If you know me, you know that. Like, I don't get angry like that very quickly. Now, you can get me there. There's certain triggers that will definitely get me there. I'm not saying I don't feel anger. Don't do that. Don't play with me. But it takes a lot from me. You know, I'm 0 to 20 as in I'm like, all right, chill. All right, calm down. All right, please don't talk to me like that. Like, I get chances because my heart don't start pounding for a hot second, you know. But once it do, It's over after that. But no, he was talking about how he's a 0 to 100 type person, and that's a choice. And how a lot of us, we remain 0 to 100 type people because we allow our past circumstances or our past experiences to justify our anger. And so now, even though we know what it is that's causing that anger, we don't try to actually heal from it. We just use it to justify our actions. We're like, oh, I'm like that because this person hurt me, or I'm like that because, and that's immaturity. That's what he said, not me. Don't hurt me. He said it's justifiable, yes, but it's immature. Like when you're giving the enemy a foothold over all of this, like you're allowing the enemy to play with you all the time. You're giving the enemy a foothold because you don't want to forgive that ex for what they did to you. That's crazy. It's crazy to think about how much power we give people. Like you were so hurt and so distraught by your ex, yet you're still allowing them to control you. You haven't even really talked to them in how long, but they still control you because you're allowing that hurt and that anger and that resentment and that all of these painful feelings that they caused you to still take over your mindset. You're allowing them to still justify your behavior currently, which is giving the enemy a foothold. So really, you're still allowing them to control you. That is crazy. That is crazy. Y'all got to go watch that sermon. Get there. And I'm only halfway through. I have I can scroll through my notes already, and I'm only halfway through. It's so good. It's so good. I'm like, you preaching, BNJ? You preaching? Like, I'll be so hype watching sermons. Anyway, it's almost 5:30. I gotta go, bro. I gotta go. I've been moving slow, but I'm feeling good today. I'm excited for my workout because, like I said yesterday, I just walked it out. And I was here, and I was proud of myself for showing up, and I was proud of myself for moving my body. But today I'm like ready. I'm like, let's go. I just got off my cycle. That's probably why I was boo-hooing like that, for real. It wasn't. I'm very emotional, but it justifies. No, I am very emotional, and I used to view that as my biggest flaw, and now I really feel like my heart and my emotions and my feelings is my superpower. I use it for my good. God uses it for my good. All right, I'm gonna work out now. Bye, friends. Listen, I just needed y'all to know that the sun is out, and honestly, that just makes me feel so good. It's still cold. It's not like sunny and 75. Be easy. It's 46 degrees, but it feels so nice to have the sun come out. Thank you, God. I needed some sunny D. Oh, Lord. Anyway, I'm in the pickup line per usual, so I just figured I would chat with you. I just got off the phone with Mackenzie, and I just really wanted to talk about aligned friendships. Can we just talk about it for a second? The value that is found in God-ordained relationships or God-ordained friendships. Like, I never really saw the importance of it, obviously, because I wasn't a godly individual, but oh my gosh, like, they're life-changing. I never really thought much about what friends I keep around me. Like, I was just so stuck on not being by myself that I feel like I allowed any type of company, even if it was the wrong company or negative company or a company that was holding me back from my full potential. But I never really thought that much about how much the right friendships can push you forward. Like, they can help you grow so much. But now all of my friendships are aligned. Like, all of the friends that I keep around me, all the friendships in my circle, they are all God-ordained friendships. They're all aligned friendships, and it really, really, really changes things. Not just because we're all like-minded, like we have similar mindsets, we're on similar journeys, we're in similar seasons, but also because we share the same faith. And I never even thought about the real importance of that, of having people in your circle that share the same faith as you. It is vital. It is vital. And I'm not saying, I never hang out with worldly people, and I'll never, don't be weird. But the people that have a seat at my table, you cannot sit at my table and not share the same faith as me. When I learned the truth that everybody is really only as strong as your source, I realized that having worldly people sitting at my table, like having a whole seat, a whole spot in my circle, is going to be weighing me down, because they will only ever be as strong as the world. If their source, and we talked about this on live yesterday, and we talked about it on the Zoom call for my Monday night ladies night chats. If you're not in my small community and you're a lady and you need accountability, or you're looking for a group of like-minded women to go on your journey with, you can sign up for a membership from my private community, and we do live Zooms every Monday night. So we were talking about that. We were talking about this on the live Zoom on Monday, and it was so good. The conversation was so good. We were talking about how you're only as strong as your source. So who's your source? If you constantly feel weak, if you constantly feel like you can't stay consistent, you're drowning all the time, who's your source? As in, who do you call in times of trouble? If you call Keisha, then you're only ever gonna be as strong as Keisha. I don't know who Keisha is. PMJ just uses Keisha as like a name example, so I go after it. If every time something goes wrong, the first person you call is Keisha, you only ever gonna be as strong as Keisha. Now, if that's what you want, then have at it. But I need friends in my circle that call God first. When I call them, I want them to say, what did God say about it? You better check me, because why is you calling me first? Baby, I'm not your source. They are not my source. Who's your source? If you don't share the same source as me, and I'm telling you, it's so much more fun when you share the same faith too. Like oh my gosh, me and Mackenzie have been doing Bible studies every night. We're studying the book of Proverbs together. And so we've been doing random Bible studies every night. And it is like the highlight of my day. Like, I love it. And I don't even know why. We really be cackling. Like, we be having a time, but we study it so real too. Like, we're really gaining so much knowledge and wisdom. And oh my gosh, we're learning so much about ourselves and about God, about faith, about all of it. Like, we're learning so much, but having a blast at the same time. And I'm telling you, when you think that it's fun to hang out with all of these friends that you really just have a trauma bond with, like, you think that you're having fun. I used to think I was having so much fun just going to dinner to sit in a circle with a bunch of women where we would just bash our baby dads. Like, I really thought that was fun. I'm like, I can't wait till Friday night to go hang out and grab some margaritas and just get drunk and bash our baby dads. Like, what? If you think that is fun, wait until you experience a real friendship where you guys share the same faith. Not to mention, when you guys share the same faith, you're loving each other different. You're not in secret competition. You don't actually hate each other. Like, you actually genuinely love each other. Like, I tell my friends that I love them all the time. I'm like, I love you, I'm praying for you. Like, what? I'm telling you, it hits different. You care about each other different. You show compassion different. You speak to each other differently. Like, it's not those weird jabs. You're not randomly hating each other. You're not out to get each other. You know, like, it's different. It's different. I love it. Like, I love being able to have fun and study the Bible at the same time. That is the most beautiful thing ever. Ooh, I can't wait to do that with my husband. I cannot wait to do that with my husband. Like, oh my gosh. I can't even imagine how beautiful that is going to be. Even when I'm with my guy and we end up having deep conversations, like, when we bring up God, it is the most, like, surreal, peaceful time. Like, it's so fulfilling. I love it. I love it. I sound like a crazy person, but for real, I love it. We think that all these worldly relationships are so fulfilling, and they're not. Like, I can't believe I thought I was ever having a good time. There's no comparison. There's no comparison between a worldly relationship and a God-ordained relationship. Like, that person is everything that I need him to be. Same with friendships. Oh, she mad? How is she mad that she, yeah. people make me laugh. But the same thing with friendships too. Like, you think that you're having fun with the worldly friendships. Wait till you experience the God-ordained friendships. Like, it is so different. It is so different, and it's so much more fulfilling, and it comes with peace and joy and growth. Oh, don't forget to mention the growth, because the growth that it comes with is wild. Like, you're both feeding off of each other, because when it's God ordained, it's a perfect partnership. Like that person is strong in places where I'm weak, and I'm strong in places that they're weak, and we perfectly help each other. That's beautiful. Get you some godly friends. Get you a Bible, and then get you some godly friends, and watch your whole life change. I'm just telling you.
I had a good day today because we fixed our relationship, me and Serena.
You fixed your relationship?
Yeah.
Okay.
She got me the bracelet.
She got you a bracelet?
Yeah. All hearts bracelet.
What did she say? How did you guys fix it?
We did it.
I thought you just said you fixed your relationship.
Not just today. Some days before it.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
I didn't know she was in recorder class.
Yeah, she was.
This is the girl that wrote a note saying I hate you?
Yeah.
Why would you even speak like that? You better never tell nobody that you hate them. You don't even need to say the word hate. That's crazy. Jesus wouldn't hate anybody.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's so mean. Don't ever tell nobody that.
I was thinking to myself, like, my mom told me to not say it out loud. I can't.
Listen, I have legitimately no idea how I woke up and I clicked my phone and it said 6:56 and my alarm was going off. Like the snooze and stop option was just going off on my phone talking about good morning. So my alarm was going off, but it was making no sound. And I was literally looking at it so confused because I have the same alarm set every day. Like I don't have to set it. It's just set for weekdays for 3:33. And so I clicked on my alarm and for some strange reason, the sound was changed to none. How the heck did my alarm change? I don't even know. But I'm about to make some coffee. It's too late to go to the gym because I gotta get my son to school. So I'm gonna do a Bible study, get my son to school, and then I have a live at 9:30 every day. And then, yeah, after my live, I'll go to the gym, which is fine. It's just frustrating. It's irritating when it doesn't make sense. Like, why the heck did my alarm not go off? Like, I don't think that's happened the whole time. I can't even tell you a time that that's happened. You know, it's so irritating. But, whatever. We're going to hit this Bible study real quick, change our heart posture, get some coffee, and, yeah, we'll get the day started. Also, the sunrise, oh my gosh, I know it was so pretty. I'm so sorry I missed it. That was mean. That was mean. Hey friends! I totally forgot to prop my phone up and record on the way to the gym, but I didn't forget before I went inside, so mind your business, okay? What's up, y'all? It's Thursday. I don't know what happened this morning. I'm not gonna lie to you. So what happened was I woke up and I went to grab my phone. It's talking about 6:56 and my alarm was going off. It was 6:56 and I had the option to snooze or stop. And I said, what the heck? I was so confused. Like, how did that happen? Because I have the same alarm set. My alarm is set for 3:33 on every weekday, right? So I don't actually touch it or change it or do nothing. It's just set for every weekday. It just does it by itself. So I have yet to ever touch it. So I'm confused. But then I went and looked at it and it said that the sound was none. I said, now how would that even happen? Because I have not touched this alarm. Anyway, I was really confused, but it ended up really turning into this beautiful God moment with me and Mackenzie. I'm not even going to tell you all about it, but with 6:56, it was so beautiful. Oh my gosh. The morning was beautiful. But when I woke up late, first of all, I had two options. And I tell my girls this all the time. I'm like, you have two options. You can either sit with that frustration and let it ruin the rest of your day, or you can just get up and find a solution and go about your business. Like, move on. Like, it's fine. Because that has not happened in so long. I don't remember the last time I, like, slept through an alarm. Or why didn't it go off? Like, I really don't know. But anyway, yeah, so I got up and I just went to the table to do my Bible study. I'm like, forget it, I'll just do my Bible study now, which is the time that I normally do it. And it was so crazy because Mackenzie was already at the gym doing her, she does like her gym workout, but then she watches her sermon while at the gym while doing her cardio. And so she was texting me like little notes, right? Just based on the sermon she was watching. She was talking about Paul. And I was like, ooh, let me look it up. Let me look up Paul. Like, that was intriguing to me what she was talking about. So I ended up reading in Acts about Paul, and bro, it was so good. Of course, like it led me exactly where I needed to be, right? But I wanted to share it for you guys. So I guess I got a word for y'all today. I was in Acts chapter 13 and 14 is what I read this morning. I didn't even get to the Paul in prison part, which was funny, but I got led right here. And in 14, so long story short, go read it. Definitely go read it. Acts chapter 13 and 14. It was really, really good. But the gist of what it was talking about was there was Paul and Barnabas. I always want to say Bartimaeus with that because the story of blind Bartimaeus is my absolute favorite. I have a whole video on that if you haven't tuned in. It's right here on YouTube. But it's Paul and Barnabas, and they're going out and they're teaching people the good news. Okay, when they say that, they're basically going out and they're talking to all these different people, all these different crowds about Jesus, right? And it was so good to me because what had happened was a lot of the times they would get these people together, right? And the people would start having faith based on what they were talking about. And so they were gathering people and bringing people to Christ, right? And then somebody would either get jealous or they just didn't like them and they would start speaking against them. And so then they would get people to turn on them. And so now those same people that just started walking in faith were now denying them and were getting them like kicked out of the town. Like they were kicking them out of the town. Paul even got stoned and everything. Like they thought that they killed him. And then he ended up getting up and leaving. But anyways, go read it. But the gist of what I got, like why it was so good to me, was it was such a good example of there's no such thing as a loss. There's only redirection. I say that all the time, but to see it in scripture was so beautiful for me. Because every single time that happened, and there was multiple times that it happened where they were getting denied by people. Like they loved them at first and then all of a sudden they hated them. The people got them to turn on them. They never once, not in either of these two chapters that I read, never once did they sit there and say, okay, these people no longer like us. Okay, these people no longer believe us. So maybe we're doing something wrong. They never questioned themselves. They never were like, oh, I'm tripping. Oh, I'm a failure. Oh, I must not be big enough for this. I must not be strong enough for this. This must not be my calling. I must have heard God wrong. They never questioned themselves and they never questioned God. They never were like, okay, God, like, why would you send me here? Like, why would you put me here if this was the case? Like, why would you allow these people to turn against me? Like, why are you getting me? You're almost getting me killed, God. Like, never did it say that. Instead, what happened was every single time they got denied or they got beat up, they were getting stoned, they were getting hurt, they were trying to kill them. Every single time that happened, they packed their stuff up and they went to a different town. They went to a different city. They went to a different crowd. That is so good. That is so stinking good. And then here we are, us fools, we over here trying to fold at every single inconvenience. Every single time we get inconvenience, we try to give up. Every single time we feel the slightest bit of negativity or something negative happens, we're like, oh, I'm in the wrong place. Maybe I'm not strong enough to do this. Maybe I'm incapable of doing this. Or we're mad at God. We're like, God, if I'm saying obedient, why is this going wrong? Why is this going wrong? Like, we questioning. Like, they didn't question at all. Not in these chapters that I read. They were not questioning. They were not mad at God. They were not mad at themselves. They were not questioning themselves. They were just like, okay, bet, redirection. Instead of questioning God, they took it as a sign to pivot. That is so beautiful. And the message in that is every single loss is not really a loss. Sometimes a loss is a simple redirection. Sometimes God allows certain things to happen in your life to redirect you, to put you into the right place. Had Paul and Barnabas taken every single one of those L's as a failure, they would have stopped. They would have gave up. They would have quit at the first sign of trouble. And they wouldn't have made it to where they needed to go. Like, oh, it was so good. Every loss is not a loss. Sometimes a loss is a redirection. Maybe God needed to move you. Maybe God needed to force you to pivot. Go, pack your stuff up and go. Got a blast. Telling you, like, I have so many notes and stuff on this. Let me show you my little page. There's so many notes and stuff in this chapter because it was so good to me. all of the times that they got denied, all the times that they didn't try to force people to listen. They just went to the people that were willing to listen. And I thought that was so beautiful. Like, you're going to have people that don't like you. You're going to have people that question you. You're going to have people that just try to get other people to turn on you. They're going to try to talk to the people that love you and try to get them to no longer love you, or, stab you in the back, or try to bring you down, or try to tear you apart. You cannot sit there and let that be the reason that you fail. You cannot let that be the reason that you give up. That should be the reason why you pivot. That is so good. That is so good. Thank you, Jesus, for that message. Because that was a word for me today. Talking about a word for y'all. I got a word for me today. One of my notes on the side here, and this is for the beginning of chapter 14, is where my little arrow points to. My note says, some will get it and be saved. Others will reject it and try to slow you down. Go anyway. Oh my gosh. It's so good. It's so good when you really hear it and try to put it into perspective for your own life. Some will hear what you're saying and they will just get it. Some will understand you. Some will resonate with you. Some will understand what you're trying to put down. Some will allow you to save them. And other people will not get it. Those that get it, and those that don't, just don't. But the people that don't get it, that is not a reason for you to quit. That does not mean that you're not doing your job right. That does not mean that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. That might just mean you need to pack your stuff up and go. Go anyway. Do it anyway. Say it anyway. Do the business anyway, even though everybody doesn't freaking like what you're putting down. You're not there for everybody. You're there for the people that you're called to. Find the people that you're called to. How do you find the people that you're called to? You pivot when it's necessary. You let that loss redirect you instead of cause you to stop. Instead of cause you to quit, you let that loss redirect you instead, bro. That is so good. I was reading from the NLT version of the Note-Taking Bible from Hosanna Revival. That I like to put that in there because I know each version is different, but this, I like the NLT. I like this one. So that's what I was referencing, chapter 14. So it's, why did he park all the way over here to go to Chipotle, all the way over there? Why? I don't know. And why did he just look me dead in my eyes? I don't know. Anyway, that was so good to me because I used to really be a people pleaser, right? And so I would just allow other people's opinions to stop me, to slow me down, to make me rethink certain things or make me question myself, not to mention questioning God. Like, if somebody didn't get what I was saying, or they called me stupid, or they laughed at me, or they tried to embarrass me, I would sit there and be like, wait, so am I not doing what I'm supposed to be doing? What? Listen, child. We cannot let every ounce of negativity stop us from going after what God told us to go after. Paul and Barnabas, they literally got stoned and they still got up and went. They just packed their stuff up and left town and went to a different city to speak. They went to a different town to speak. They didn't let anything limit them. Why are we letting so many little things limit us? We let so many things tear us apart. Like, what are we talking about? Anyway, that was so good to me because I used to really be a people pleaser, right? And so I would just allow other people's opinions to stop me, to slow me down, to make me rethink certain things or make me question myself, not to mention questioning God. Like, if somebody didn't get what I was saying, or they called me stupid, or they laughed at me, or they tried to embarrass me, I would sit there and be like, wait, so am I not doing what I'm supposed to be doing? What? Listen, child. We cannot let every ounce of negativity stop us from going after what God told us to go after. Paul and Barnabas, they literally got stoned and they still got up and went. They just packed their stuff up and left town and went to a different city to speak. They went to a different town to speak. They didn't let anything limit them. Why are we letting so many little things limit us? We let so many things tear us apart. Like, what are we talking about? I used to let everything ruin my mindset in a split second. That man didn't text me back and now I'm boohoo crying to the point I'm out of my routine. I'm stepping away from my calling. I'm like losing sight of my vision. Like, you're crazy. These men were gonna freaking die. They were willing to die. They were willing to die to spread the word of God, to go after their calling, to be a light, to fulfill their purpose. And some of us, we're not even willing to do it scared. We're a little bit fearful of rejection. We let rejection stop us. We let embarrassment stop us. No, what? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Anyway, I'm glad that I got that message. Shout out to Mackenzie for sending me the notes because it really touched me this morning. Well, she led me in the right direction. That's why it's important to have people that are aligned with you, because God will speak to the both of you. And if you guys both stay obedient, you can help each other. I'm going to do a whole video on aligned friendships because I'm trying to tell you, baby, they be changing the game. I'm about to go get a workout in since I missed my workout this morning. It's like, what, noon? Look, y'all on my clock. Oh, it's 12:50. It's 12:50, so it's almost 1 o'clock. And I can't miss, though. I don't want to miss. I got too much energy in me anyway, and you never know what is an attack. Like, what are you trying to slow me up from? Nah, you ain't about to slow me up. See, that's another thing, bro. I would have missed my routine because I missed my time slot. You're gonna let a little oversleeping stop you? You sound crazy. You sound crazy. Get up. Stop making excuses, bro. I don't know who that was for. I'm sorry to trigger y'all. We had a really good live this morning, too. Anyway, I'm about to go have such a great workout, and I don't know. I'll probably talk to you guys tomorrow. All right, bye, friends. Hey, friends. I'm so cold. Good morning. It is Friday morning, and let me tell you, this is the first Friday in a while that I feel like I've barely made it through the week. I've been so tired all week because I've been so busy all week. It has been crazy in the best way. It's been overwhelmingly, beautifully busy, if that even makes sense. It is 4:32. I'm a little bit early this morning because my niece has an appointment earlier in the morning. We need to take a breath. Let's take a breath. Ready? That feels so good. That's better. I feel better. Well, I started my morning off with, I've been listening to this audio book. I think it's called Unraveled. I probably should have paid more attention to the title, but I've been listening to this audio book about faith and like the whole faith journey, and it's really, really deep. It's really deep, which y'all know that's my lane. I like it there. I love to live below the surface. Like, I'm like in the basement. But anyway, it really had me thinking about a lot of different things, of course, but the chapter that I listened to, it made me think about how multiple times in my journey I've been low-key scared to grow, which sounds like crazy, but it doesn't at the same time. Multiple times during my journey I've been kind of scared to grow. Like, I've been scared to evolve too much. Because I'm scared to outgrow certain people. Jeez. I have been scared to grow too much to the point where now I'm not on the same level as the people that I thought that I loved. You know, like, I get scared of outgrowing people and outgrowing situations that I thought would be like long term. And it's happened multiple times throughout my journey, and I'm glad that it did, because it taught me to not get too attached to anything or anybody, and not in a like sad, depressive type, don't need nobody type way. I don't mean it like that. I don't mean it as in like, don't love people too much, or don't invest yourself too much, or don't, put your guard up all the time. That's not what I mean. What I mean is, when you get way too attached to worldly things, you can't grow in faith. You can't grow spiritually, because you're always going to limit yourself. You're going to put up certain limits to where you can't step into what God wants you to step into, because you're so attached to what you stepped into the world. Or you get so attached to people or places or environments or things or experiences that you're not willing to step into what God actually has for you, because that might require you to leave certain parts of this world behind. And I feel like when we get way too attached, that's exactly what happens. And I'll give you a worldly example. When you're in a worldly relationship and then you start growing in faith, right? And you get closer and closer and closer to God, God's going to show you exactly who he created you to be. He's going to show you where he wants you to be. He's going to show you where you need to be to receive any of the blessings or to step into the promised land, right? oftentimes God will require us to step out of certain things that are not actually serving us. Like when we got into that relationship that was actually a worldly relationship, we're going to be required to let those relationships go in order to step into the godly version of ourselves. You can't take everybody with you. And when you're so attached to them, now you're missing what God actually has for you, because you're refusing to let go of what you stepped into before you went to God, before God got a hold of your life, before you gave God access, or before you stepped into what God actually had for you, before you started walking the path that God has for you. You stepped into that on your own, and now you're so attached to that you're unwilling to let it go at all. You're unwilling to distance yourself even a little bit, and so now you can't fully step into what God has for you, because not everybody can go with you. Not everybody, not everything, not every place, not every experience, you can't choose everything that you take with you along the way. Sometimes you have to be willing to let things go. And that's why you can't get too attached to anything or anybody. I did not understand that. And even when I did start to understand that, it was really hard for me to actually live like that. Like, it was hard for me to remember that and do that. I always got way too attached to people because I'm such a lover girl. I'm such a soft little lover girl. Like, I just want to love people. I don't want to hate people. I don't like to argue. I don't like to I don't like to hurt people. I don't like to have to step out of character. I don't like to raise my voice. Like, I don't like to do that. I just want to love people. Like, I just want to be nice, And I feel like when I experienced love with people, I got way too attached to them because I loved the reciprocation, or I loved how I felt in their presence. I guess that's a majority of it. I loved the version of myself that I was with the people that I loved more than I loved the version of myself that I was when I was alone. Jesus. And that's why it's so important to not get way too attached to people. You can't get way too attached to people, because you start to love the version of yourself that you are when you're with them more than you love the version of yourself that you are behind closed doors with God. And then you start to love people more than you love God. And that is where you mess up. That is where you mess up. Now you're idolizing people. If you love people more than you love God, that is an idol. Look up the definition. What is an idol? Anything that you put in place of God. Anything that you have in God's seat. That is an idol. And that's why when you get so attached to those relationships and those people and those places and those things and those experiences, you get so attached and you refuse to let them go. You will never be able to love God more than you love those things. That's where you mess up. Because now those things or those people are your source. When you get so attached to that relationship, and that's the first thing that you run to. So the second that you get anxious, the second that you get nervous, the second that you need help with something, the second that you break down and you're sad and you went through something horrible, the second, even when you're so happy, the second that you something successful happens and you can't wait to tell somebody, you always run to that person first before God. That's your source. If that's your source, you will only ever be as good as that. You will only ever be as good as that individual. You cannot put another individual in God's seat. That is idolizing them. That's why it's so important to not get so attached to anything. I had to learn that I need to be willing to give up everything. Like, if you're not willing to give that up for your relationship with God, for your purpose, no, then it's unhealthy. Too much of anything is a bad thing. Even loving somebody too much is a bad thing. If you're not willing to give it up, if you really feel like you're going to be lost without them, something's wrong. Something is wrong. That's not healthy. That's not healthy. I can openly, freely love. You guys heard me say it a billion times. Not a billion times. Be easy on me. Y'all have heard me say it many times. I am very much in love. I am very much in love in the most healthy way possible. I'm not attached. Like, if I really felt led to give that man up, I would, in a heartbeat. Like, there would be no question asked. If God told me that I need to distance myself or take space or give it up, okay. Would I cry? Absolutely. I would boo-hoo snot-nosed Roscoe cry. I would probably slide down the wall. Are you kidding me? I love that man so much. But I do not love that man more than I love God. That's the whole point. You cannot love anything in this world more than you love God. You can't love yourself more than you love God. You can't love anything or anybody more than you love the one that created all of this. And I remember when it hit me that I finally grew in faith so much that I didn't love anything or anybody more than I loved God. And it scared me. It scared me because I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to lose everything in this world because I'm so invested in my faith journey and my spirituality? And that scared me because I don't want to lose people. I was scared to keep evolving. I was scared to keep growing and getting better because I knew that I was eventually going to hit a point where I was in a very different season than the people that I had loved in the previous season. And I was scared. I was like, what if that means I had to let them go? Like, what if those people don't grow with me? Then what? Then I lose everything that I loved? Because I'm not stopping. When you start to love God more than you love other people, baby, when you start to love God more than you love things of this world, you don't stop. You don't slow up for anybody. What am I slowing up for? What am I slowing up for? For you to catch up? You have the same 24 hours as me. You gotta come on. Or I gotta go. That's my point. It gets scary, and I feel like people don't talk about that enough. People don't talk about that enough, or maybe enough people don't experience that. You know, maybe it's not that people aren't talking. Maybe people don't get there. Maybe enough people don't get there to even talk about it because it takes a lot of work. I know a lot of people will not understand what I mean when I say that. Like, I know that a lot of people will not resonate with that as far as I love God more than anything. Like, I'll give everything up before I give up my relationship with God. And it's wild to me to think that I never would have understood that either. Like 2 years ago, had somebody said that to me, I'd be like, you lost it. Yet I would have given up anything for that relationship that I was in. And I was in a very toxic, unhealthy, I was not happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of us do that. Like, you're not even genuinely happy in the relationship that you're in. You're with somebody that is not fulfilling you at all. Like, that relationship is not fulfilling to you. Yet you're willing to give up everything and everybody. And you did. I did. I gave up friends. I fell back from family members. Or stop. Those in toxic relationships, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You did give up everything and everybody for that relationship, for somebody that is imperfect. And I'm not saying that the relationship was so bad. Even if the relationship was top tier, great, but that's still an imperfect person, because there's no such thing as perfect people. So you gave up everything for an imperfect person. But when I sit here and say I would give up everything for God, who is perfect, it doesn't make sense to people. You know, it wouldn't have made sense to me, which is crazy. We're willing to give up everything for a worldly relationship, but we're not willing to give up everything for God. That sounds crazy. Anyways, I am gonna go work out now. It is Friday, which means I'm done with the weekly vlog. I just have to put this one into, like, attach it to the longer video, and then I can post it. I'm kind of excited to watch it back all together and see, like, how my week went. I feel like this is so therapeutic. It's so therapeutic to be able to, like, watch my own week back, you know, like, keep up with my own story. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. I kind of like it. Let me know how you liked the video of them all put together like that in one long video. But otherwise, I guess I'll see you guys next week. Bye, friends.